Hi, everybody. Sam here. Hope you're having a great day wherever you're at in the world today. I am so excited that you are here to join us for another micro interview. And I have Lizzie and Deana here, and they came together after realizing they were married to the same narcissist. And so they are creating a community for women and helping women understand how they're not alone. And I'm excited to hear what their tip, thought, piece of advice is. If you are new to Safe Heart Connections, we're glad you're here. And we are an online community group for women that are working on learning to love ourselves more fully. And by default, our lives improve and we get to make connections along the way. If you have been here for a while, we're glad you're back. And Lizzie, I think you were going to start. I'm excited that y'all are here, and take it away.
Thank you, Sam, for having us. We are so happy to be here. I am Lizzie. We are the Matadoras. Our goal is to help women connect with other women, especially if you are in a very dark place and you have no support system. Because if you are going through abuse or narcissistic abuse, it could be one of the most loneliest journeys of your life. And we understand that. And we know that it's important to kind of develop relationships the best that you can when you're in these dark places. And we just want to offer that community, whether you listen to our podcast, whether you join one of our social media platforms, it's to be the voice as you're walking through these things in your life. Yeah. And Deana and I are really excited to work together and be there for you each step of the way.
Yeah, so we are the Matadoras, and like Sam said, we were married to the same toxic narcissist, not at the same time, for a total of 31 years between us, same guy. And I think the best thing that I could offer to anybody out there that's in a toxic, dysfunctional, narcissistic, fill in the blank, cheater, liar, financial abuser, he was all those things, is really don't let them pull you into that isolation, because a hallmark of a narcissist is to sort of isolate you from friends and family. That can be through moving multiple times, or just, I don't like that person, I don't care for that person, or why aren't you spending more time with me? And they isolate and they want to be the only person in your life. And so you could find yourself in a place where, this narcissist, and if you have children, are almost the only people you have. So once you realize that, like Lizzie said, it's so important to branch out and to start creating your own healthy circle, because you need support. And even if you're not ready to leave and you're not sure if you want to leave, you really need healthy people around you that can give you insight and direction and help you to get out of that mental crazy web. Because when you're in that situation, you are chronically confused, you are chronically doubting yourself. You're not even sure if you're sane half the time, because, most narcissists are feeding you messages about who you are, and they're giving you, a message about what you thought you saw or heard or felt, and it wasn't that. So you just feel crazy. So like Lizzie said, I think one tip for today would be make a community, connect with some people, find some friends, even get a therapist, a life coach, whatever you need to do. Make sure you're telling somebody what you're going through, and don't let that person be the only voice in your life.
And we do have another little tip. Because Deana and I were married to the same person, but not at the same time, when we found out that there was a third person involved, we did eventually get to reach out and warn her. And she ended up believing us. So I guess our other tip would be, if you hear words of just concerns or anything else from other people and you're in this relationship, this new relationship, go ahead and listen to those and think, okay, they may not necessarily be red flags, because it could be just somebody that wants to get back at you, but maybe there are some valid concerns there you need to listen to, and don't shut them off and don't shut them down, because it might protect you from making a huge mistake in a marriage that you could have prevented. Our goal is to help narrow those gaps of making those lifelong decisions that later on you have to heal from and may cause some deep wounds that take years to heal from. So we love to bring in other people that have walked this journey as well. But here again, it's listening to those red flags and being aware, and also finding a community if you're already in these situations.
Yeah, 100%. Thank you, ladies. So the women that have been in the community in my community for a while already know some of this story, but when I was in my abusive narcissistic relationship that I got out of in 2015, everything was great when we first met. Everything was good until it wasn't. And when it wasn't was when he moved us 30 miles away from everybody I knew. And it was like a light switch was flipped off and I couldn't flip it back on. And it was awful. And those things about the voices, the things he was saying, I truly thought I was going insane, because I'm like, that's not what happened. Right? That's not what happened. And so I was able to go on my healing journey and went through a lot of training and doing some things to heal. But I truly wish I had somebody like the two of you in my corner back then, because it would have made that healing process so much easier. So I'm really excited to connect you to the community. My prayer is that no woman has to ever go through this, and yet I know it does. It happens. And so I tell the women all the time, it's not if, it's when. It's not if, it's when something's going to happen, whether it's something like this, or you have a kid that you find out is in trouble, drugs, there's a million different things that could be happening, but life is going to happen. It's not always going to be good. And who are you going to have in your corner when that happens, so that you have a community of support around you to lift you up and to be there for you? Because what I found was that whenever I was in my darkest moment, there was nobody there. And I don't want that for any other woman. So either of you have any kind of closing thoughts before we wrap up? I'll make sure that your links where you can, everybody listening can get connected to you, whether it's your podcast, social media, and all those things. But any final thoughts before we wrap?
No, but Sam, thank you for sharing that. I appreciate that. It's common. Those are common things that a narcissist do. And I'm so glad you escaped. And I'm glad that you're doing what you're doing today. We appreciate it so much. And I love the connection. And that's Lizzie and I love too, is we want to connect with those of you who resonate with our story, and so that you don't feel alone and you feel like you have people that understand and get it. And eventually we'll start support groups, some Zoom groups, so that ladies can come and all support each other. And it's going to be wonderful. But thanks, Sam, for what you're doing.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing your journey. We appreciate it.
Of course. Y'all have a great day. We'll chat soon.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sam.